Hi, sir. I am Paul Sam.
Yes, Paul.
Sir, my doubt is when will we receive the hall ticket regarding qualifier exam, like destination of examination?
Okay, so the exam is on 11th. So most
Yeah.
probably in next couple of days you should get the hall ticket.
Okay. Will
Okay.
will we receive mail or like?
It will be available on your dashboard. You must have some login on the portal, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so it will be available over there. You might get a email notification, but I'm not sure about the notification, but definitely it will be available under your login. We call
Okay.
it something called as dashboard. So maybe it might be already available. Please just check over there. Okay.
Okay. Sir, is this examination like multiple choice or?
Yeah. The exam will be multiple choice. There will be usually we have three types of questions. Okay. At least for Python. One is multiple choice, second is multiple select, and third is numerical answer. Okay.
Like we
So
should
as I
solve that
said,
and we should give the answer.
yes, correct. So sometimes you have to give numerical inputs. So you don't have to type on keyboard. There will be a virtual, a digital keyboard available on the screen. You using mouse, you just have to click on the numbers and select your answer. So that's one kind. Other is MCQ and other is multiple selects. So multiple select as in same question might have multiple correct answers, right? So only these three things. You will not be asked to write anything or type anything. Just have to select something from the options or maybe a small number here and there. Beyond that, nothing is there. And specifically, the students might have doubt regarding programming part of it, right? Being a Python exam, we will not be asking any programming questions, but there might be some. There will be some programs which you will have to go through and understand them, and based on those programs you will have to answer, right? But you will not
Yeah.
be you do not have to write any programs, at least for this exam. Okay, and no negative
Sir,
marking, Manjiri. The exam will be of 50 marks, and
okay.
okay, and this qualifier, it consists of four subjects, right?
Yes.
English, programming in Python, mathematics, and statistics, right?
Statistics. Yes.
So collectively, you will get 4 hours, and each this subject, right? Each subject will carry 50 marks. So total, it will be 200 marks and 4 hours. And there is no splitting time splitting for each subject. So if you can spend more time on one subject and save that from somewhere else, that's also possible. You can ration your time as per your need. Total
So
four
for
subjects, 200 marks and 4 hours. That's the thing.
How many questions will be there for each subject?
That's something, I mean, we never announce number of subjects because number of subjects is not that important aspect. We make sure that they are solvable within 50 to 55 minutes. Okay. I mean, usually you will get 1 hour per subject, right? On an average, right? So while setting up this question paper, we make sure the question paper is solvable within 50 to 55 minutes by any student. So number of questions
sir,
is not that important aspect. So we never have that component anywhere. Yeah.
sir, for max and statistics also we'll be having multiple choice or we should
Yes.
solve problems.
No. I mean, the entire exam will be multiple choice. As I said, only these three type of questions will be there. Of course, they might ask you to solve something, but you can have to do some small computation using rough sheet, pen and paper. Some rough papers will be provided at the exam
Okay.
center. So you can do
Okay.
that, and whatever the final answer is, that you either have to select from the option.
Okay. So basically these are all multiple choice questions.
Yes, absolutely. It's a computer-based exam. It's at that at specific exam center, and they have only these kind of questions. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
sure. Thanks. If you have given any any government exam, any banking exam, or something of that nature earlier, then even the interface will be familiar to you. Or maybe a gate or something, if you might have tried, then it's the same interface.
Hello, sir. Any negative marking will be there?
No, there won't be any negative marking.
Do we need to carry from our side anything like laptop or calculator?
No, you don't have to carry anything apart from your hall ticket and some government ID, right? Just to identify yourself, some identification from your side, either Aadhaar card, driving license, or something of that nature. And second, you require your hall ticket. Beyond that, yeah, and a pen or pencil. That will not be provided. Rough sheets will be provided at the exam center. So only these basic things you have to carry with yourself, nothing else. Do not carry calculators. They will not be allowed inside. There will be calculator available on screen which you can use.
So, can you please suggest the site from where we can practice the Python output questions, the complex Python output questions and answer?
I cannot suggest any specific sites, but some mock question papers are available on our website. That's something you can refer to, and that's a good indication, that what kind of questions will be asked. Have you looked at those mock question papers?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the good indication. So practice for similar type of questions in the exam. Okay. Apart from that, I mean, all the questions which we have, you will be having in the exam, they will not come from any standard website out there, right? So I cannot tell you any place where such questions are available, because they are not. So that's why I said mock question paper is the only ideal place we should look at, and based on that, just do some practice, on your own. See, one thing I'll tell you that during exam we are checking your logic. Okay, how much logically strong you are in Python. That's the that's what we will be checking through these questions. So do not worry too much about syntaxes. Basic syntaxes should be known, of course, but beyond that, the questions will not be framed based on your skills to memorize something. Okay, the questions will be framed to check your logic, your understanding of the subject. So while preparing, do not waste too much time, memorizing things. That will not be needed.
Yeah, thanks. Can we discuss any examples for recursive functions here?
Yeah, sure. If you have you're struggling with any specific type of question or something, please do share the question. We're more than happy to discuss that.
No, actually, I don't have any question handy. Oh, so if it is possible that you can give any examples or any questions to discuss this, just to revise, so it will be helpful.
Okay, so you're talking about recursion, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Have you looked at the mock question paper? Is there any recursion question in that particular paper?
Sorry, I didn't get a chance to go that on that thing, but
Okay,
I have studied recursive functions a long time back.
okay.
I was just thinking that it's a revision class, so maybe some questions will be there as we are having in our maths and statistics class also.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Usually for Python, we don't do solving like they do for math or stat, because the nature of the course is different, right? So that's different. But yeah, sure. As you're asking about recursion, let me see if there is already any recursion question available. We'll take that, or else we'll use something else. Okay.
So may I know what is a system compatibility test?
Okay, system compatibility test is not for you. It is for those who have already enrolled into the program and doing Python, right? We conduct programming exams for student later on. I mean, once you clear this qualifier and get into the program, then when you actually start doing courses, that time across various different courses, you will have to come across you will come across programming exams. And for those programming exams, we require the system compatibility test, because programming exams are conducted for everybody from their homes. So you will be giving those exams sitting at your home, and for that we have to check your systems. So don't worry about that as of now. That is something is not required for this qualifier. That will
Sir,
come
but
at a later point of time.
sir, I got a mail regarding that to do the system compatibility test on 6th of this December. That's why I asked about the system compatibility
System
test.
compatibility test on 6th of December.
Yeah,
Okay, can you just read out the exact content of that particular email?
yeah, sure. Thank you for registering to write the IITM BS degree December 11th exams. Requesting you to read the below instructions carefully. System
Yeah.
compatibility test important. And that bracket it's written as important. Prior to the exam date, you need to participate in a system compatibility test. And what is a system compatibility test? It's there is a click here button, and
Yeah, just fine. Okay.
so it's
What
written.
else?
It's giving some passwords, username, etc., etc. And under that, please note that you will not be able to take the system compatibility test after the given deadline. Once
Okay.
you complete the SCT, kindly fill the below form. Exam-related general instructions for candidates. These are
Okay.
instructions with respect to exam.
Okay. I got the jinx of it. So, are you enrolling it into for the first time, right? This is your first qualifier, or have
Yeah,
you
it's my
tried it
first
before or
time.
something?
No, it's my first time.
First time, right? First time. I
Yeah.
guess they must have sent email to maybe some typing error, right? I'm not sure, but that email, that particular test is not for you. Absolutely, I can tell you with 100% certainty. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. So absolutely, you can ignore that mail.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can I get to know whether the videos that has been specified for us to work on, is that sufficient for the exams? Because when I looked into the mock papers, I
Uh-huh.
felt a little difficult in solving those questions when I had to work on along with the videos. When I went through the videos, it was fine with me, but
Mhm.
when I had to solve the mock papers, it was a bit difficult. So, is there any option that we can work on with the previous exams papers today so that we'll get a clear picture of it, like how to go ahead and all?
Okay. See, there is slight difference between these two, right? See, uh, what we have covered in lectures is purely based on content, right? We,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
exactly.
covered the syllabus, which is there, in the program. Not just this, but for qualifier in general, what is actually there in the as part of Python course, which is available there in terms of those videos on YouTube. But after watching those videos, we expect student to put in some additional efforts and work out towards those questions. Okay. And usually in our program, I mean, once you enroll, you will know there are a lot of practice questions which we provide to students in order to, reach towards solving those questions. So we build up slowly. We start with some easier problems and slowly go towards the harder problems, towards those graded assignments. And that's how the entire teaching methodology it goes on. But
Mm-hmm.
in your case, what happens is you are direct entry to diploma, right? It's a
Yes,
diploma
yes, sir.
entry, right?
Yeah.
So we expect some level of competence from you, that you already know certain concepts, and that's why you are directly giving this direct diploma level entry exam. So for that purpose, we do not have. I mean, only after you enroll into the program, we can provide you access to those things, right? So at this point of time, we can only provide access to you to those videos and these mock papers, right? And
Okay.
that's why I said, watch the videos so that you will know the content and how it was taught. And then look at the mock paper to know the difficulty level or in general, the idea that how exam will go. And then preparation is something which should come from your side. That's the expectation.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there any
Yeah.
material which will help us out, which is similar to the mock papers apart from this? Because
Apart from
directly,
mock papers, no, there isn't any. And as you ask, right, previous year question papers or
yeah.
something, right? So to be honest, we never release any previous year question papers. IIT doesn't have that mechanism. I mean,
Okay.
we never formally, at least we never. You might see question papers of various exams conducted by IIT online, but they are never been formally released by IITs. Any exam for that matter, not just this one. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So previous year question papers won't be available like that, but there might be some students who might have collected it from here and there and done something. So that you might check with. I mean, if you have some friends enrolled in program, you might ask them. But formally, there isn't any place where you can get that material.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So.
When
Sir,
can we
the course
Yeah, that
material that is
recursion question, I know. I mean, I'm coming to recursion question. I'm just going through what the discussion is happening, but I'm coming to recursion. Yes, go ahead.
So when can we
Sir,
receive our
the course
admit
material that is provided to us, the sample question papers and the videos, are they enough for the preparation of the exam, or should we like go for some other ways to prepare for it?
It should be enough. See, if you are able to solve the questions provided in the those mock papers, right, without any trouble, then you are in a good place. Okay, you are at a good place. If you are struggling with those questions, then that means you require either either you have to watch the lectures and understand the concepts in the first place, or you require more practice. So that's something you have to figure out after, just try to solve that qualifier paper without any external help, without taking help from internet or anything. Just sit with the paper, try to solve it like an exam. And if you struggle with any specific question, any specific topic, then maybe that topic is where you required more help. But other than that, as I said, if you are able to solve those questions, smoothly, then I think, right. I mean, try to understand this. It depends on person to person, right? Somebody might already are proficient in Python, but whereas somebody who might be new to Python. So based on at which level you are, you might require less or more amount of practice. So that's something you all have to understand, right? That where I am, where I stand with respect to this concept, and based on that, you require that practice.
Actually, there was no answer key in the question paper that we got to study. So how can we compare our answers and the correct answer? So that's a big difficulty that I am facing.
Okay. That we see mock question paper, right?
Yeah, mock question paper.
Answers are available. I don't know which file you saw. Answers are available right there.
So I got only one mock question paper for CT.
Not CT, we are talking about Python. CT is not part of your exam. Qualifier exam, you do not have CT. You have only English, Python, maths, and stats. If you are giving qualifier for data science.
Okay.
You might have, you are looking at some wrong file.
Maybe I will check again. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you,
sure.
sir.
So, thanks.
Sir,
Hi, sir.
Yes, hi.
This is this is a bit of a general query as well. I haven't received any confirmation regarding the exam center. I just wanted to confirm if this is the same for everyone.
Yes, I believe that's the same for everybody. You will get the hall ticket, you'll get the admit
Okay.
card, and on that same admit card, all these details will be mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
The admit card downloadable, is it? It's not like sent.
Sorry, your voice was breaking. Can you repeat what you said?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, now it's better. Tell me.
Okay, my question was like this will be a downloadable, printable admit card, is it? Not sent by post.
Yes, not sent by post. It will be a PDF will be available online. You will have to take a print out of it.
Okay, fine. Because I have to plan for travel also. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, sure. You can take a very simple black and white print is enough of that.
Fine. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Sir, I want to discuss question number 15, 16, and 17 also from the MOOC papers for Python.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it is solving. So can
15,
we discuss
16,
it?
17. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
We'll solve this. Okay. Maybe a good place to show everybody who may not have looked at it, where it is and how to find it. And I'll come to solving those questions and recursion. So let me share my screen. Okay, so once you go to this particular website, right, diploma.iitm.ac.in, on the right side under admission, you will see something called as qualifier exam. Upon clicking there, you will come across something like this. And over here, you will find syllabus, reference video, and mock question paper. So as you can see, the Python is right here, at the second from top. The syllabus, video playlist, and mock question paper. So upon clicking this mock question paper, you will get this PDF. Okay, I've already opened it, and there are some 17 questions in it. So distributed across various topics from the syllabus, which you should study. So we will come to those three problems. Before that, I mean, somebody asked it earlier, and I believe the person is still there waiting for the answer regarding recursion. So I just have some small question on recursion. Let me work upon that, and then we'll discuss this 15, 16, 17. I hope that's okay. Right?
Yes, sure.
Sure. All right. Thanks, Nitin. May I know who was the person who was talking about recursion, so that I can directly talk to you?
Yeah, I was the person. I asked this both
Nitin.
the questions. Yes.
Oh, you ask about recursion as well.
Yes,
I think, right?
yes.
Okay, then definitely you won't mind this, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start with recursion question first. Okay. So just look at this question, a sample question I just put up while we were discussing. So, and when we were talking about recursion, right? We won't be asking you some out of place, some huge recursion questions, nothing of that nature. As I said, the exam is to check your logical reasoning, right? Your thought process and your understanding of basic codes. That's the idea behind it. So don't expect some, some crazy recursive questions. Don't think like that. Some basic questions won't be there with recursion or even otherwise. Even though sometimes the question might look very complicated, very big to begin with. Just dig in, you will understand it's not that complicated. Most of the questions will be of that nature. So let's try to work on this one. Nitin, would you like to go through this question and let me know what your first what your understanding is? Then maybe I will jump into it.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Just give me some time. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Just read the question for everybody, and just parallelly, maybe you can tell us what your understanding understand.
Okay, so we have to check whether this word is palindrome or not.
Right.
And then is word. Okay, so maybe we have to give any input, and we have to check whether that particular word is palindrome or not, right?
Right.
Okay, so by seeing this, I can just identify there is a function that is spell, and inside that we are just checking what is the length of this s function. I think this will be input, yes, and whenever its length is equals to 1, then we are returning true, and then we are just checking what is the first and the last element of that s list, and if it is same, then we are just returning this statement in which we are just slicing our list from our second element to last element. That means second last element.
Right.
And else return false. Actually, I can understand what is going through this, but I'm not finding how the recursion is going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, the point is actually the question is slightly different. We are not saying that this question, this particular function is checking whether word is, but what the question is whether is it correctly written code or not. That's actually the question, right? What is if word is palindrome, then is pal with parameter word always returns true. Ideally, if that the function implementation is correct, then for any given word, if it's palindrome, it should return true, right? So what we have to do it, we have to figure out whether that is what is happening or not. So actually it's I mean, in terms of MCQ, MSQ format, it's a true false question, right? So what the question is the following statement true or false? So you will be given two options, true and false. So you have to figure out whether this statement is true or false, right?
Okay.
So you have to check, I mean, that is this the correct implementation of palindrome or not? Assuming, I hope everyone know what palindrome is. Palindrome is a string which is same, either you read from left to right or right to left. It is still same. I mean, character by character, it is still same. That's the, so such a string is considered as palindrome. So for example, the string madam, right? MADAM, either you read it from left or right, it's still same. So that kind of string is considered as palindrome. So what this function is supposed to do is accept a string s, and it should return true if the string is palindrome, and if not, then it should return false. That is the expectation of this particular function. Whether that is happening or it's, I mean, it might be a correct implementation or might be incorrect. That is what we have to figure out. If it is correct implementation, the answer is true. If not, then the answer is false, right? That's the idea behind this question.
Yeah, one quick question. The string of square brackets start to end index. The end index will be exactly same, or it will take one before that? The line number 12.
Line number 12, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So your question is whenever we are slicing, what exactly it do? Whether it takes the last character or it stops one level, one character before it, right?
Yes,
That's your
yes.
question.
That's my question, yes.
Correct. So something like this you are asking. So let's say if I have something like this, and then if I say, if I hit enter for this, what will be the output? Whether it will be BCD or just BC? That's your question, right?
Yes, that's the question.
Right. Correct. Anybody would like to comment on this? Because this is one of the basic things you must know during exam. So anyone would like to comment on this? What will be the answer
It's
for these two lines? Is it BC or BCD?
BC.
BC, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's BC. So what happens is every time whenever you have such a structure, right? Some value colon some other value, then this one the last part, right? And this is the starting point and this is the ending point. The ending point is always non-inclusive. We start with the starting point. The starting point is inclusive, whereas the ending point is exclusive, right? So you should stop always one step before this.
Okay.
Before -1 or whatever that last value is. It
Okay.
always stops one step before it, always.
Okay.
Not just this slicing, even in other cases. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So that now I believe everyone know what the output of this particular selected value is at line number 12. So can somebody tell me whether this is it a correct implementation of palindrome or not?
I think yes. I just find out. I think it will be giving the output as true.
Okay, let's try the same word. I will try. Okay, it is giving true. Is something else. Now there is an error. Anybody can tell me why? The earlier when I entered madam, it worked. When I say ABBA, I mean it's a palindrome, right? But it's giving error. Can anybody tell me what's going wrong here? First, try to analyze. I'll just okay. First, try to analyze. This was my first input, and this is my second input. First, try to analyze what is the difference between these two inputs. Both are palindrome, but still there is some
odd and even.
Like over, yes,
Yes.
and over there 0 must be equals to -1. Over here it's not 0 equals to -1.
Right, absolutely correct. The important difference between these two inputs is the length of those strings. One is odd and other is even. In case of an odd string, it worked, but in case of an even length string, it failed. Right? Why so? That we must figure out. I mean, already somebody answered it. Is this what it says? The length of s is equal to 1, then you return true. But when I enter a string with 4 characters, what this will do? This will reduce this string from 4 characters to 2 characters. And for those 2 characters, it's fine. It is where this condition will not execute, which ideally should, right? And that's the place where it is going wrong. So for any string, any palindrome string of odd length, it will work, but any palindrome string of even length, it will fail because it will go as as a string index out of bound. So, and that's the place where the problem is in this particular implementation of this attempt of palindrome function. So the answer for this question is false. All right, Nitin?
Okay. Yeah, yes, I understood.
So once again, as I was saying earlier, right, I'm trying to tell you, I mean, this question is just one sample. So in exam, you have to think about such type of question. Your logical thinking is important, right? And in the entire question, as you say, the question is just what? 5-6 lines of code, right? Not more than that. But the important part is to understand what all types of inputs are possible and then how your code will execute for such inputs, right? So this inclusive, this complete thinking is required over there to come across, to come up with these different inputs to test your code. Is it fine? Okay, but still, Nitin,
Yes.
I believe you had some doubt regarding recursion. Is it still there, or do you want me to talk about the recursive part here? It doesn't matter whether the function might be wrong, but
no, I get it. actually, I just recalled it. What
Yeah.
recursion is doing, it is again calling the function inside the function.
Correct, correct. See, the basic concept of recursion, I mean, it's a function itself. There is nothing different. It's still a function, but only, the key aspect of a recursive function is the function calls itself inside its definition, right? And when it's called itself in its definition, it calls with some modified version of original input. So the original input was S, and in this case, as we are checking palindrome, we are, deleting the first and last character of that string and calling that function again, right? So usually that's the case. Every time the function will call itself with some modified version of its original input. That's usually how the recursions will go. And the first ever, execution. I mean, initially assuming we execute it again, and right now the input is madam. At that time, your S is MADAM, and that particular execution will be put on hold when we come across line number 12, right? Because what line number 12 says, you are supposed to return this. And in order to return this original input, original execution of isPal is put on hold, right? So the first time when it was executed, it is put on hold, and second level of execution started with the updated input, which is ADA, right? M and MM, both M's are removed. So ADA, with this new string, we start the second execution of same function, right? That same procedure. And when that starts, we again come across this line 12. We again remove those A's and execute the third time the same procedure. Still first and second on hold. They are waiting for something else to happen. And the third one is started its execution with just character D as a value for S. And now the length is equal to 1, it returns true. And when this third execution returns true, it is not actually returning true directly over here. This true is returned back to the second executing function. The second executing function pass that return that true value to first one, and then the first one pass that value to this line number 17, which ultimately will print true. Okay, that's the general. That's the way recursive functions are executed. Every time a new call starts, the previous call is put on hold, and it has to wait until it receives some input from the next call. Okay, so every n plus 1 call is supposed to return value back to its nth call. Then nth call returns value back to n minus 1 call, and so on till you reach to the first call. And when it reaches to the first ever execution of the procedure, that's the one which returns back to the the initial call where the whole process begin with. All right.
Yes, right.
All right, so now let's move to those 3 questions which you're talking about, 15, 16 and 17. Is the PDF visible?
No, it's black screen. Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. So yeah, somebody was asking earlier, the answers are not available. So just below every question, there is a place where the answers are available. Okay.
Sir, I was checking with the computational thinking question paper, just to mix
Okay.
up. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Computational thinking, as you can see, it's only for for your reference. It's not included as part of your syllabus. See, actually, computational thinking is a prerequisite of Python. So it's a course before Python. So if somebody's totally new to Python, then they better should start from computational thinking, then move to Python and so on. That's why for reference we have provided it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, fine. So let's look at this question number 15 then. Okay, so Nitin, before jumping into the question, you said you have some doubts. So can you tell me where you exactly struggle with this question, so that maybe I can pinpoint that place and talk more about that rather than the entire question.
Yeah, so I just understood the question, but I was not able to identify how to go ahead. I mean,
Okay.
just by seeing the options, I'm not able to think the idea how to execute that particular operation. What is, I mean, what is the logic behind implementing any of the code here? That was the problem.
Oh, oh. So first let's try to understand what the question is. The question says two matrices A and B are said to be equal only if both the conditions given below are satisfied, right? The first is dimensions of A and B are the same. And then if the common dimensions are, right, m into m, the jth element, okay, sorry, if the common dimensions are m into n for both matrices, of course, the jth element in the ith row of both the matrices are the same for every I from 1 to m and every j from 1 to n, then we call them, then they pass this equality test, right? So what does that mean? They have to be identical, right? Because that's what this particular condition is all about. What it says, the common dimension, let's assuming m by n, then every jth element in ith row for both the matrices are same. What does that mean? For any given index value, for any pair of indices, the values should match in A as well as B, right? The both values should match. So for example, if I say A of phi 4, then same value should be there in B phi 4, right?
Yes.
Correct. So in general, A and B should be identical. They should be exactly same, every element by element. Correct. Then what you ask? Write a function named equality that accepts two matrices A and B as argument. It should return true if the two matrices are equal and false otherwise, right? That's the correct implementation of the function, and it's a MSQ. So there is a possibility of multiple correct answers for this question. Okay, and you'll have to select all those to get the full marks. Otherwise, you will get just partial marks if you select only a subset of correct answers. Okay, so now we'll just first, of course, this condition is something which is easy to check and that we should check for first, that whether the dimensions are equal. If they are not, then there is no point, looking at second condition. So let's look at first code. What is happening in first code? Length of A not equal to length of B, we return false. Then if length of A of 0 not equal to length of B of 0, we return false. So this is means what? We are checking number of rows and number of columns, right? I mean, we are checking both n and m whether they are equal or not, because A is ultimately A and B are what? A and B are list of lists, right? Matrix is ultimately stored in Python as an object in the terms of list of list. So len of A will give you the length of outer list, whereof len of A of 0 will give you a length of inner list, right? So that means number of rows and number of columns, we both are checking. If none of them are matching, we are returning, I mean, any one of them are not matching, we are returning false, else we are returning true, which is correct for first condition.
First condition only.
But second condition, we are not at all checking over here in this code, right?
Right.
So obviously that means option A is wrong. Right? Moving on to option 2. In option 2, again, this part is same. The first 4 lines are same, which were there over here, which are correct, right? Which we already checked. Now the point is, assuming this part holds true, that means the dimensions are equal, then we have to do something else, correct? So we extracted those dimensions as m and n because len of A is m and len of A of 0 is n. So we got the correct dimensions for m and n. Now we have to iterate upon those two and check the equality, right? So we have declared one variable called is equal. It's a Boolean variable with initial value true. we are iterating upon these two. If A of ij is not equal to B of ij, is equal becomes false, else it is true. Okay, and then we are returning that value. Right? Now can you tell me that this part, just these 4 lines alone, is it accurate implementation or accurate way to check whether the element by element the matrices are identical? Is it a right way?
Let me just think.
Okay. See, this will check. This will iterate upon entire matrix, element by element, and it will check for its equality, right? So not equal, we are making it false, and if they are equal, of course, it will go to else, and it will make it true. So is it the right way to do it, or is there anything might go wrong in this code? Just because of, let's say, I'll reduce it down for you because of these 2 lines, or maybe even precisely because of this line.
No, I think so. It will execute in the same direction because we are just checking ijth value every time, and
Correct.
it will again go to the for loop and then again check until it's true.
Okay. Have you looked at the answers?
My suggestion is it should stop at the first place where it's unequal.
Okay, agree that there should be a break after this line 13. Okay, absolutely, I agree to that. But even though it's not there, right now in this code, it's not there. But still, this line, don't you think this line number 15, will cause some problem? Because, I mean, the answers are already there. You know, B is not the correct answer. There has to be some reason, right?
Can you
B is
go
not
up?
the correct answer.
Can you go
It's
up
not a
again?
mistake. It's not a mistake. The answer is correct. But because there is something wrong, as I said, it's because of this line. Can you try to understand? I mean, of course, I will explain why, what's the problem, but it's better if it comes from any one of you.
Since there isn't any break, whenever if ij value is not equal in A and B, we'll be having is equal to as true.
Sorry, I couldn't get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, since we're not breaking it when if like ij value of A and ij value of B, if it's not equal, we're not breaking out of the loop. So what happens is for the next time, if the value of ij is equal, then the else part is equal to would be true, which is actually wrong.
Correct. And to be honest, even a single break statement will not help because it's a nested loops. So even though we add a break inside this if, right, it will break only the inner loop. But the outer loop will continue and still there is a possibility, to go to true.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you understanding my point?
Yes.
Yeah. So just having one break statement below this, it's not sufficient, but that's anyway, I mean, break statement is not there. So no need to, discuss things, some hypothetical codes. The problem over here is, Nitin, as the other person correctly pointed out, excuse. So try to understand like this. There is a matrix where every element is not matching except the last element. Okay, it's a, let's say, 5 by 5 matrix. As we are iterating on ij, the last index which is at 4 4, right? We will go from 0 0 to 4 4 if it's a 5 by 5 matrix, right?
Right.
So the only element which is at 5 5 position is matching in A and B. Okay. Excluding that, everything else is different in A and B. Can you imagine such a matrix?
Yes.
What happens in that case? For every such iteration, it's a 5 by 5, so there will be 25 iterations, right? So out of 25, for first 24 iterations is equal to will remain false because these two will not match.
Right.
But then for the 25th iteration, for that 5 4 4, A of 4 4, B of 4 4, they are equal. and because of that your else block will execute and you will make this variable true, and that's what you will return.
Right, understood.
Which is the problem in option B.
Hmm.
Okay, it will return true if your last element is matching, irrespective of what happened with any of the previous elements. Right?
Yes, right.
Now let's look at this option C. Now once again, see, this is something you should be careful about in exam to save time. Look at the progression of the code. This code was copied as it is over here. So that's something just quickly you should see. Okay, this is the same code. You don't waste too much time on it. Okay, and one more thing, we never give you syntax errors. Okay, so whatever code is given, it will be syntactically accurate, no matter what. Okay, we never give you a code with syntax errors. Logical errors might be there. That's of course they have to be. That's how we are judging your logical thinking. But syntax error won't be there. We won't be asking you questions based on okay, missing colon or missing some spelling is wrong. Don't worry about that part. So don't waste time checking those things. Okay.
Thanks.
So in this code, you can directly start looking at code from line number 7. In this case, you can directly start looking at code, maybe just this part, right? So you can optimize time, just have a look, maybe in a glance, just see whatever happening is right or wrong, but don't waste too much time on, analyzing same part of code. Okay. So now coming down to option number C. This part is again coming down as same. This one is same. This one is same. Iterating upon M, iterating upon N. We are checking the equality of AB or not inequality of AB, which is till that point it's fine. If it's is equal, we are breaking, which is correct, as many of you were saying, right? Whenever they are unequal, we should break. So that part is correct as we discussed earlier, but only problem was with this part is it will break only the inner loop. Only this loop will be broken upon after this encountering this line number 14. But this outer loop will continue, right? And in order to tackle that situation, now this time we have some different type of mechanism. We don't have else is not there. But we have something else. We are saying if not is equal, we are breaking again. And now check the location where this line number 15 is. Line number 15 is just below this 11. That means line 15 is outside this inner loop, but it is still inside the outer loop. So can you tell me whether this will work?
Yes. It solves both problems.
It solves both problems, right? Because of this break, the inner for loop will be taken care of, and as soon as that happens, it checks whether it's not is equal. What is the meaning of not is equal?
Is equal to double equal to false.
Correct. So it's like opposite version of current value of is equal, right? So for example, let's consider both scenarios. The value of is equal, the current value of is equal is false because maybe it became false and we broke over here, we executed break statement, it came down here. What is not of false? It is true, right? Not of false is true, we are breaking again. That means when we break, when previously we had a break statement. That means whenever this break statement executes, this break statement also gets executed. That means this break will break this loop at line 11 and this break will execute loop at line 10, and that's what we wanted. And the value still remains false, and that's what we return. Right? But now we should consider the other way around, this other situation where A and B are actually are same, they are identical. At that time, what happens? This line never executes. Right? This particular if statement will never evaluate to be true, because the Aij and Bij will always match, and because of that this will never execute, and as this never executes, the value of is equal remains true all the time, and as this remains true, not of that is false, this break statement will never execute. That means we will iterate upon. Sorry, somebody is talking. And can you keep yourself on mute? You're not talking to me. Okay, thanks. I think it's Pawan. Can you mute yourself, Pawan? Okay. So what is happening is this line number 10 to 16 are getting executed in some manner, but it's not modifying the value of is equal at all, because this condition will never become true. And because of that, we will end up returning true. Pawan, if you're talking to me, you're not audible. I'm not able to understand a word what you're saying. And if you're not talking to me, please keep yourself on mute. Your voice was breaking. So in case if you're talking to me, maybe post your doubt in the chat box. That might be a better solution. Okay. So option C, is it clear why it's correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move to option D and see whether what's going wrong over here. Okay. So okay, this is something I don't even have to waste time on. This is something I should be able to answer within a fraction of a second and just save time. What's wrong in this code? Tell me, anyone.
No return true.
No return true, right? There is no statement we are returning true, which is absolutely a bizarre way of writing code. We can't just have return false statements in a procedure, in a function definition of this nature. So we don't even have to analyze the code. Right?
But this one is supposed to be a syntax error, or?
It's not a syntax error. It's a logical mistake that somebody missed writing that return true statement. This code will execute. It will not give you any error. Okay. I mean, there won't be any compiler error. There won't be any syntax error. It's a logically incorrect code. Okay. Just like the first one. Nothing wrong in this code as such, but it checks only the first condition. It's not checking the second condition. Okay. Similarly, there's nothing wrong in this code, but it doesn't serve our purpose. That's what.
That means if we are providing A and B both identical metrics, it will not give the output.
Yes,
but
it will not return anything.
Yes.
Yeah, it will execute. It will not return anything.
Yes.
And ultimately, you will it will return actually. It returns none, right? In Python, if there is, if you do not, the function doesn't return anything, it returns none. So that none will be returned, and that's not what we want, right? We want true.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So logically, this is incorrect code. There should be a return statement, even though this part is right. It's a incomplete code. Okay. Now let's moving to next question. I mean, you see the answer is correct, but this is a different version of implementation, right? So what is happening here? Again, this part is same, just like any of the previous codes. Only difference is we are not declaring any variable here. We knew that option C is correct. We had this boolean variable is equal, but now we do not have that here. But instead, what we are doing is, as soon as we come across an element which is not matching, we are returning false, which inherently means we are breaking, right?
Yes.
Right.
Because what break do? The break statement breaks only the immediate loop. But return statement what? Return statement is how it is executed. Return statement breaks everything. It even stops the execution of the procedure, right? Of this function, and it goes back to the original code. So as soon as we come across even a single element which is not matching, we return false, and that's it. We got our result. But when this never happens, that means this return statement is never executed. That means this condition was never true. Then ultimately we are returning true. And when that will happen? Only when A and B are identical. That's the only place this condition will never be true. And then we return true as a default return statement. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a much more, I'll say this is a better implementation of a code rather than what we had in C. Both are accurate, but this is something is much better, understanding wise or even the optimization wise. Okay. But that's nobody will ask you again. Let me be clear. No, we won't be asking you questions like this. That which implementation is better and all. I'm just saying, just general observation. But the question we will not be asking anything of that. You just have to figure out which is correct, and that's enough. Okay.
Yes.
So
In the
that's
exam,
question number 15. Yeah.
one question I
Yes,
have.
Rajesh.
In the exam, can we skip a question and come back to it later?
Yes, absolutely you can. The interface which you will have in exam, right? It will even have a mechanism to flag specific questions.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you can flag those questions of there are 2-3 different variations of flags as well. So you don't have to look for those questions. Okay, which question was it? Whether which I skipped and all. You don't have to remember any of that. You just have to flag it and move ahead. Uh, on your screen there will be I believe on the right hand side there is a separate panel. On that all questions are visible and you can click on directly a specific number of questions and that will appear in your main screen.
Oh, okay, okay.
So in case let's say there are assuming let's say there are okay, as an assumption I'm taking this number, this doesn't indicate anything. So let's say there are 10 questions, okay, and out of 10 let's say you want to skip 4th question. So just flag that question and move to your 5th question. Later on, whenever, on that right panel, you will see the color of that 4th question will be different.
Oh, okay, okay.
So that will be an indication for you that that you have flagged it and you have skipped that question.
Okay.
Okay. Originally, I believe, as far as I remember, all questions are red. Only when you submit it, they become green. And if you flag them, then there are some 2-3 different colors based on answered but flag, not answered but flag. Such variations are there. So based on that, some intermediate 2-3 colors are there. I think one is purple with something else, something of that nature is there, and all this explanation of all this will be there, is there before the exam. So you will reach exam center ahead of time, right? So you will get some 15-20 minutes before exam to go through these instructions and understand the interface of the exam.
Okay. So we'll be able to skip question in Max and come to Python and go back to Max. All these things.
Yes, absolutely you can. So for switching, okay, the question paper, all questions will not be available on the same right hand panel at the same time. I'll tell you for you will know this once you go there, but on the upper, at the top of the screen, you will see 4 different tabs.
Tabs, okay.
Tabs, right? Like what usually you see in Google Sheet or Excel, right?
Right.
4 different tabs will be there, or even you see what in browser, something of that nature. So for each subject, there will be a different tab. So, and once you click on that tab, then the right side panel will show only questions based on that subject.
Perfect.
But of course, you can keep switching across subjects, across question, whatever. Absolute flexibility is there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So coming back to question 16. Okay. So Nitin, what's the problem in question 16?
Yeah, actually, I'm just blank in this question. So I'm just understanding that there is a function exit count, and we are just passing two arguments in this, and we are just checking. And right now we are just splitting that particular word by space, and then we are just checking whether that particular word is available in dictionary or not. Which is in D, and then
okay, yeah, please.
Yeah, I will just request you to just make me understand what is going on this.
I think it is trying to find if there are any words that are repeated n times in the given para. The function is trying to see if there exists any word which is repeated n number of times in the given para. For example, it will return 1 if one of the words is repeated 3 times. So since good is repeated 3 times, it will return 1.
Okay. So that's the analysis we got from Rajesh. Let's see whether that's correct or not.
So I would
Okay.
like to
Yeah.
make my analysis too. So there
Yeah,
is,
sure, Radha, go ahead.
yeah, so there is a para being passed, and we are just splitting it in splitting it with a space, and we are
Right.
checking if we are making a empty dictionary also. We are putting each word in that empty dictionary if it's not there before. So if it's there, we are not putting it. And with every placing of word in a dictionary, we are just counting those words. So the n is the number 3, and we can see like after executing this code, the next for word in D says how the each word being passed, and we are just checking the D word is occurring 3 times. N is passed as 3, and when it is equal to 3, whatever word occurring 3 times in the para being passed will satisfy this condition, and it is returning 1. So the answer is coming as 1. That's my analysis.
Correct. So, which is absolutely correct. That is exactly what is happening over here. What Rajesh said or what Radha said, that's exactly what is happening. What we are passing is we are passing 2 parameters. One is a string and other one is integer, and that's the first para is that string, n is that integer. We have declared one variable d, and that's empty dictionary to begin with. And then using this particular loop, right, from line number 3 to 6, we have split that particular string, this string, on the basis of space. As you can see, there is nothing. So that's a space. So on space, we have split it. So that means every element, right, the value of word, this particular variable word, will be one word at a time, right? In iterative process, every iteration, the value of word will be good word, many, good, works, and so on. Then what we are checking whether word is there in D or not. So if word is there in D, then this loop will not execute, and we simply increment the count. And if it's not there, we are adding that word and setting value to 0. So we are creating a dictionary with frequency of every word. So how that dictionary will look like? A dictionary it consists of 2 things, right? Key and value. So what are the keys? Keys are these words. These words form keys in this dictionary D. And values are what? Values are frequencies, or as in the counts, the number of times those words appear in the string. So for example, good. Good appeared 3 times. The word itself appeared only once. Many appeared once. Works appeared once, real once, and choice once. So apart from good, all other words appeared once. So for all those key value pairs, the value will be 1 for all the words except the good, right? The good word appeared 3 times. And that's how our dictionary will look like at the end of line number 6. And then in line number 7, we are again iterating on that dictionary now, not on para, on the dictionary D. And then we are checking whether any of the value in that dictionary is n or not. N as in this 3. So if that's the case, we return 1. Or else the default statement will return 0. And as somebody else, the others pointed out earlier, the word good appears 3 times, and that's the input, that's the parameter for this function. It will return 1. What if I change 3 to 2? Instead of 3, I pass 2 over here. What will be the output, Nitin?
Yeah, so it will again returns to 1.
Why?
Because this condition will be true for good again.
No, I'm saying instead of 3, I'm passing 2 now. The value is 2 over here. So n is 2 now.
Okay,
Zero,
so
zero.
Because
okay, yes.
line
It will
number
be 0
8.
then, because
It will be 0, right? But
because
there
D of
isn't
word
any
will be
word which
3.
appeared twice.
Yes. D of word
This
will
is
be
exactly
3.
equal. I'm not checking whether it's greater than equal. I'm
Right,
saying
right,
it's
right.
equal. Exact match has to be there, right? So for any value other than 1 and 3, this particular function will return 0. Only if this input is either 3 or 1, then only it will return 1, because that's the frequency of each word in this particular string. Okay?
Right.
Understood? So this is the NAT type question I was talking about. So this kind of a question will be there. No options will be provided, but there will be a calculator like UI will be there, where some numbers will be available on the screen, and just have to select the numbers and click on enter and to submit the answer. So in this case, you just click on 1 and enter. That's click on enter. So it's clickable. You're supposed to be operated using mouse. Keyboard will not work for that. Okay. So that's the NAT type question. We call numerical answer type questions. Okay. And usually numbers will be small. So no need to, you do not have to type some long and very big numbers. It will be some 1 or 2, maybe max 3-digit numbers in some cases. So it will be very small, some numbers. That's what sometimes it might be a fraction, maybe 1.5, 4.5, even that's a possibility. And if that's the case, it will be mentioned that I mean, if required, we will mention it. If not, then you have to figure out whether it's an integer or float based on code. But both are possibilities. Either it's an integer or it's a float. Okay. Okay, so moving to next and the last question. I think this is the question, right? Which I discussed. The
Yes,
17th
yes.
question is the ISPAL. Anyway, we discussed this earlier.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't aware this question is there in mock. I just took it from somewhere else, but yeah, anyway, it's good that we already discussed. Okay, fine. Anyone else have any doubt? Anything else which you would like to discuss? It's 7:20, so we still have some time. Anyone?
Hello?
Last I heard, yes, go ahead. Who's that?
Yeah, Omkar, I want to share one snippet. Can you give me the explanation for that?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. Can you
Can I
post it in
drop?
chat box?
Can I drop in chat box? Yes.
Yeah, please drop in chat.
I'm posting. Yes.
Sure. I hope the indentation is present, otherwise it won't make any sense. Okay, in meantime, Anup is posting. Others, anyone would like to share something, discuss something?
Sir, one doubt, in case if we are not qualified in this exam, will we be given any other choice, one more choice, or how it will be?
Okay, if you fail to qualify this, then you have you can attempt the same exam again. I mean next time when it's conducted again, you can try again. Okay.
Again, we have to enroll, or how the process would be?
Yes, the entire process you'll have to repeat, and I mean you may not have to create account and everything. I think those basic things will already be there. You have to pay the exam fee again and attempt for exam once again. That's how it goes. Okay. Yeah. Anup, any luck posting
Yeah.
the code?
Yes. Can I? How can I share or how can I post?
You said
Because
you're
in chat
putting it
box.
in the chat box, right?
Yeah, but this is a screenshot of program.
Oh, it's a screenshot of the program. All right,
So
let
maybe
me see.
I become the presenter
That's something I am checking whether that is a possibility.
because I am trying to post.
You can put it
Yeah,
in a Google Doc and share to public. So and share the link, he can pick it up.
it is a.
Hold on. Yeah, I have made you presenter. I believe now you should have permission to share.
Yes.
I wasn't sure whether do I have a right to make you presenter, but I guess I have. So go ahead. So from where you have taken this screenshot? Can you tell me some background of from where it came from or anything, some context of this code? Anup?
This is from one examination.
Okay.
It is Python code.
Okay. Fine, go ahead. Are you able to share?
Hello, Ankar.
Yes, tell me.
It is visible to you or not? No?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
I have shared.
Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Anup, from where you got this one?
Actually, I have given the last time same examination.
Okay.
And the repeater.
Okay. Now I understand. Because I know this question. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, actually, I know about, but I could not understand the concept.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Swapna, I will come to that. Okay, I saw your post. I'll come to that. Let me finish this one. Then next I'll come to your post. Before that, I know there are many questions. If I missed anything in between, please do post your question or your thing again in the chat if I have missed something. Okay, so Anup, what do you think? What do you think? What's happening here?
I have clear my idea, but still I am not able to. Actually, index is increasing at the rate of their position. Means if index is 0 first time, then first position x is equating with all your first positions. Means x is comparing with x 0 x 0 x. So here 4x. So means this is the dictionary. This is a sets for 0 position. One more means what a list is available. 0 1 0 for 0 position means if m is equal to 0, j is equal to 0, and mi 0 0 means here x position is equating if you are equating x with all 0 positions.
Correct.
But how can I means there are 4x in first. Till the answer is 3. So that's why I am not taking.
The answer given is 3, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And in first is 4x are available.
Right. Okay. But why 4x available has anything to do with answer? We are not counting number of x's. That's clear.
0 to this I am counting with position. If x is equal to first x, okay, then index is 0. If x is equating with second x, then index becomes 1, and maximum it is 2 3 from 0 to 3 or 1 to 3.
No, I think you're misunderstanding this part. Okay, fine. I'll explain. Before that, anybody else would like to give it a shot? Anyone understood what's happening here?
Yeah, the sixth
As
line.
Anup already mentioned, the answer is 2, right, Anup?
It's 3.
Sorry, yeah, answer is 3. 2 or something you're talking about. And the answer is 3. So that's also indication to, to figure out what's happening here. Yes, anybody would give it a
Yeah,
try?
the line 6 is trying to see if the other members of the row are same as the first member of the row. That is, if you see line number 13, the first row, first element, that is 0, 0 is x. 0, 1 is also x, but 0, 2 is 0. So it is not equal. But in case of line number 16, all of them are same. So that is the place where it says where it breaks.
Right. Anup, have you understood what what Rajesh was talking about?
Yes. Actually, I have not seen the line number 16. I got
Line
it.
number 16 as in the third index of that inner list. I mean the list
Yes.
index is 0,
Yes.
1, 2, 3, right? And that index is what we are returning.
Yes. Got it.
Okay.
Actually, I am okay. Still, you can explain.
Yeah, Anup, you are saying something?
No. Got it,
Okay.
Shankar.
Okay, sure. Thanks. Can you stop sharing that?
Thanks for the question, Anup. If you have any more questions from the previous previous question paper, it will be very helpful for others also if you can share it.
I can share the question paper if anybody.
Yeah, I will ping you.
Yes.
Okay. So Anup, maybe you gave this same exam last time, right? Would you like to share your thoughts about the exam? I mean, maybe your experience or something which might help others.
No, actually, last time I have given the examination, but I have not prepared for that. Actually, there is some emergency came to my personal, so I could not able to do study properly. So now I am preparing hard to qualify the exam.
Okay.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Your voice is breaking in between, but yeah, we got what you are trying to say. Okay, fine. No, that's fine. Whether you prepared, not prepared, whether you cleared, not cleared, that's not important. I'm not even asking about that. What I'm asking is, would you like to share some tips, something somewhat based on your experience, what others should do, what they should not do, anything which might help others, during exam or even before exam in terms of preparation. Anything which comes to your mind, please do share, and help others.
Only the practice. If you are doing more practice, then and then we can qualify the examinations. Because just listening or just means understanding the concept is not much more. Because even for mathematics and statistics, you must know you must on hands-on practice on your what is you are learning. Because some numericals are means all things are depends upon your practice. Means 4 hours is enough for examination. It is good enough. You can easily crack the examination, only just proper way of practicing the specific topics from math, statistics, Python. Okay, sir. That's what.
Okay, fine. Thanks, Anup. Okay, so Swapna actually posted the message saying that she is not able to understand question number 7, 8, and 9 from the mock, and she's not able to unmute for some reason. So Sapna, can you try maybe once again or something? Maybe check your connection. I don't mind explaining this question, but the problem is if you're not able to speak, then one-way communication is not a good way. When I'm explaining something, it's better if you can respond quickly and tell me whether you understood something or not. It should be a discussion rather than one-way some kind of commentary. So it's better if you can unmute. Can you please check, or if not, then maybe we can continue in this manner. Swapna, anything? Okay. In meantime, when she's figuring out about her microphone, anybody else would like to say something?
Sir, I have a doubt about the MSQ answers. If there are two right answers and accidentally I found I thought that the third one is also correct and marked three of them as correct, so there
Yes.
won't be any negative mark for that.
It's not negative marking, but this is not negative marking is not the right term for this. But if you select even a single incorrect answer, you get 0 marks. Okay.
Okay, so I should choose the all correct answers only, right?
Yes, only correct answers you have to select. If you select less number of correct answers, you will get partial marks.
Oh,
But if you select a option which you are not supposed to, as in the wrong answer, you directly get 0 marks, even though your remaining options might be correct. As you said, right, there are two correct, and you selected those two, and on top of that, you selected one more which is incorrect. Then you will get 0 marks.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Right? Because see, you understand the situation, right? If we don't do that, then you can select all options and submit, right?
Mm.
Yeah,
But
right.
for Python, it's different, right? Because
Sorry?
so for this subject, it's difficult to understand, right? So for a single code or a single line, if there is a mistake, maybe we could not recognize at that time, and so if we select a wrong answer, it must be like the ratio of wrong to right, like that, something we should take like that, right? Like 2 by 3.
There is no negative marking. As I said, see, whatever marks you have already got, we are not going to reduce those marks. If you reduce those marks, then it is considered as negative marking. We are not deducting anything. For that specific question, you will get 0 marks. But we are not deducting from what you have already got from other marks, from other questions.
Okay.
So that's the major difference between MSQ and negative marking.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so for that question you get 0, but existingly earlier whatever your positive score is, it remains as it is.
Mm-hmm.
So a hint there over there with such question is, do not select option unless and until you are 100% sure of it, right? Because see what happens if if there are two correct answers, okay, and you select only one of those, then you will get half of the marks. Okay, that's how the evaluation goes.
So
For
if
any
I'm
given
not
question,
100% sure, I should not click the other one.
correct. That's what we recommend. Otherwise, see, you might get full marks or 0 marks, right? If you are not sure about that option, it's either 0 or full marks. But if you take this conservative approach and select only the option which you are sure of, then at least those many marks you will definitely get. You may not get full marks, but also you will not get 0. So it's like a risk versus reward thing, right? So that's something you have to take a call based on how much sure you are about a specific option.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Yes, you are audible. Who's that?
Yeah, I'm Swapna.
Swapna. Yeah, okay. Much better. Okay, tell me. Question number?
Yes, 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, 7, 8, and 9.
Like I can understand the code, but the thing is, I'm not able to figure out the questions. How are we supposed to like guess what inputs the user will be giving?
It's not a guess, but okay. So have to understand the various possibilities. Okay, fine. So let's
Yeah.
see. I mean, it's a comprehension type question. So based on same code, we have asked 3 different questions, right? Okay, let's see what is happening here. In the following code block, b is an integer that has already been defined. So yeah, b has some integer value. The code block runs without throwing any error. That part is important, and terminates after accepting 10 inputs. Okay. This part, if you understand the meaning of this particular paragraph over here, then that's it. That's the most important aspect in this question. Okay. The code block runs without throwing any error and terminates after accepting 10 inputs, all of which are integers from the user. Okay, assume that all questions that follow are independent of each other. Okay, so that's what we are seeing. So as in the input given for, let's say, question 7 doesn't have anything to do with question 8, but this is a common data which you're supposed to consider independently for question number 7, 8, and 9. All right. Just hang on for a second. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So have you understood this part? But okay, before going to that part, Swapna, can you tell me what is happening in this code? What is your understanding of the code? These 7 lines of code.
Actually, like I have a doubt, like is B fixed or like B is also changing?
B is fixed, right? But it's some integer value. B is an integer, and that has already been defined. It's somewhere above this code. It's somewhere defined. We don't know what that value is, but it's fixed. It's not changing anywhere in the code, right?
Yeah, okay.
X is the only value which is coming from user, and it's in the loop. So for every iteration, value of X will change. Correct. But
Yeah,
B
correct.
is a constant.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So can you tell me what is happening in this code? What is that?
Yeah, we
When
are
that if will
checking.
execute, when else will execute?
Yeah, we are like checking if X is less than 10, then we are taking X as an input, and and the else part is like if X is between B and a B plus 2, then we break out of the loop.
Right. So what that tells you about this code after reading this part? The code block runs without throwing any error and terminates after accepting 10 inputs. So what you can say about these 10 inputs then?
Like we are giving inputs for X like only 10 times and like not more than that, and the input can be anything, like not necessarily less than 10.
Correct. So it terminated after 10th input, right?
Yes, correct.
That means when it terminates, when this condition is satisfied, that is only when it terminates. So that means your 10th input satisfied, I mean, because of 10th input, this condition was satisfied. But for first 9 inputs, this condition was satisfied, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if this understanding is correct, then we should now look at the questions. Now tell me what this question is.
So B's fixed value is 200, and we are like figuring out which could have been X's inputs among the 10 inputs that we have given.
Correct. So what was our conclusion after going through these 7 lines of code and this line? First 9 inputs are less than 10. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
And the 10th input is in this range, right? So assuming B is some value and this B plus 2. So it has to be exactly the value B plus 1, right? X has to be B plus 1, then only it will satisfy this condition, correct?
Yeah, correct.
So if that understanding is correct, now tell me which are the correct options here.
Okay, 200 is not possible, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about like 40.
Why? Because see 200, right? 40. Is this 40 less than 10?
Yeah, okay, it's not.
It's not, right? So
Yeah.
see, you can have only, see, what happens if your input is not in this given range? It will not terminate, right?
Yeah, correct.
What you clearly said that it terminates without any error. That means definitely your 10th input is B plus 1. Then only this condition will be true.
Yes.
It should be exactly B plus 1. Otherwise, this condition will not hold true. Right? So if B is
Right.
200, that
Okay, that
means
means
X.
yeah, that
Yes,
means like whatever inputs we'll be having, everything will be less than 10, and one input will be 201 since B is 200.
absolutely. That's what it is. So first
Okay.
9 inputs are supposed to be from 0 to 9. Do we say positive integers or something? No, right? Yeah, any value less than 10, right? Any value less than 10 is okay. So some value less than 10. So those are the first 9 inputs, and 10th input is 201.
Yeah, okay,
Correct?
got it. Yeah.
So answer has to be 1 and 7, right? Rest 2 are
Yeah.
not possible.
Yes. Understood.
Right? Now question number 8. If B is equal to 100, what is the maximum possible value that the user could have entered among the first 9 inputs?
Okay, actually, it's clarified now because like
You got it, right?
yes, I was like not able to understand the code properly. That's what I understood.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Okay. Anybody else? Prabhavika, are you there? Are you still there? I see you are
Yes,
asking
sir.
about question number 15.
Yes, sir. Actually, have a
I,
doubt in the code. Actually, not the
okay.
question. Actually.
Okay, I think we already discussed question 15. Yeah, we
Yeah,
already
yeah.
discussed this one. Yeah, okay, no problem. Tell me, what's your doubt?
We are checking in the option C. We can
Which
check.
option are you talking about?
Option C.
Option C, okay.
Option C in the line 4. Why are we checking for the elements equal length of A of 0? What exactly the line is? Can you explain me that?
Okay, see, A and B are matrices, right? The A is matrix, B is
Yeah.
matrix, right? So how matrix is stored in Python?
In a list.
A list of list, right?
Yes.
So for example, A is a list of list. I mean, the matrix is stored as list of list. How you will know what is the what's the number of columns and what's the number of rows are in A? What is the dimension of A? How you will know that?
By taking the number of elements in that.
Correct. So you will require a length of a whole list, and then you will also require a length of inner list also, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that is what we are doing. Length of A will give you number of, it will give you a length of outer list. And then when you do length of A of 0, it will give you a length of inner list. So that now you have both number of columns and number of rows. The general dimensions of that particular matrix.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm clear now.
Sure. Okay. Thanks.
In this common data for 10, 11, and 12, there is line number 7.
Okay, hold on. Common data for 10, 11, 12. Yes, line number 7. Okay.
Yeah. That says L colon minus 1.
Yes.
That is supposed to do what?
Okay, so it's a slicing operation with starting point missing, right?
Yeah.
So what does it do is whenever any point is missing, it goes, if it's a starting point missing, it always starts from 0.
Okay.
Okay, it will go from 0 to 1 less than minus 1. So it will actually remove the last element.
Oh, okay.
And line number 6, what it do? It is doing from 1 colon and end point is missing. That means it starts from 1 and
goes to end.
Goes to end. Goes to len of L.
Okay.
So ultimately, what you are doing is you are removing first and last element.
Okay.
Entering line number 6 and 7.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So is it enough, or you want?
No, that's all. That's all set.
Okay. Sure. See, whenever you come across something like that, right, just try to, have one sample and simply execute it and you will know.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe, I'll just quickly show you that also, whatever we discussed. So this is your L.
Yes.
Then what we did, capital L, 1 colon, right? That's what the first line number 6 was.
Correct.
What it is doing?
It skips the first
From
value
first
and
index to the last.
Correct.
Right? If it's missing, we should consider maximum possible value over there.
Okay.
At the same time, if the first is missing, like this, then you should start from 0th index.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So we did not initialize this to L. So we, of course, this L of colon minus 1 is executed on the original list.
Okay. And L colon minus 2 is allowed, is it? Which gives the whole string.
Yes, no, it will not give you a whole string. What is the meaning? Okay, hold on. What is the meaning of this one? Your starting point
this side. Okay.
Starting point is still 0, but your ending point changed from -1 to -2. When your ending point was -1, you stopped at 9. Right?
Okay.
But when your ending point is -2, you should stop one step before -2, which is 8 now.
Okay. Yeah, same thing happened in the string also. Yes.
Yeah, same. This is slicing. Okay. This particular operation is called slicing. So whether you do with list or string, it's still same.
Okay. Yeah, this is very clear. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks. Okay. Last 10 minutes. If more doubts are there, I'm happy to stay back and answer, but
Hello?
at least I will be around for at least another 10 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah, can you go to question number 3 in the mock paper?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I just I want you to explain how the values are independent of what is given, like A is greater than equal to B, which is greater than equal to C.
Okay. Is it a subpart question or 3 is independent one? Okay.
No,
2
that
and 3 are related, right? Yeah.
is
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So what is your doubt in question 3?
Yeah, I want to understand how it is independent of the values of A, B, and C. Like the
Okay, the
statement that
following
is given.
statement true or false. Okay, the statement so and so will always evaluate to true. This is independent of the values of A, B, and C. Okay, so according to the answer and question, this is actually a correct statement, right? It's true that A is always greater than equal to B is always greater than equal to C, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, now we'll have to see what the code is. Okay. Okay, so consider the following snippet of code. A, B, and C are Boolean variables. Okay, A, B, C are Boolean. So these capital A, B, C's are Boolean. Okay, and rest we are doing computation with respect to these small A, B, C, which are integers. So okay, now I got what the problem over here is. Okay,
Yeah.
so Swapna, right? Yeah. Okay, Rajesh, go ahead.
Yeah, so whether A or B or C, whichever is true, A is always incremented. So, if only A were true, A will be having 1, and if B were true, A and B will be equal, and C will be 0. So that way also, A greater than or equal to B and A greater than or equal to C, B greater than or equal to C will be true. What I mean to say is, either case, A is incremented.
Swapna, is it clear or do you need more explanation?
Yeah, no, I understood. I actually was having difficulty in understanding the code. Like, this is the first time I'm learning Python, that's why.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
it is clear, right? See, these are all
Yeah,
nested ifs. So you will
yeah.
never
Yes.
reach here unless this is true. You will never reach here unless this is true. So
Yes.
in order to execute any of this, A has to be true. In order to execute this, B has to be true. So
Correct.
as Rajesh pointed out, no matter what, your A is always incrementing 3 times and B is incrementing 2 times, whereas C is incrementing only 1 time. So definitely A
Yeah.
will be at least greater, or if not then equal to B, and then following same with C.
Yeah, okay, got it. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
sure, thanks. Okay. Okay, anyone?
The catch here was like you should see the indentation. It's the equivalent to the
Yes.
curly braces in C and C++.
Correct. I mean, there are many people who may not even have studied C, C++. Okay, for them, this is the way. This is the only way to write code. So, and which is very common. I mean, I have met many people in a program who have studied only Python. Because nowadays many colleges have started doing this. They start teaching programming from Python. Many universities have dropped C and C++. Whether it's a right thing or not, that's a big argument. That's a debatable topic. But many universities have done that.
Okay. And CBSE also from +1, that is 11th standard, they have this Python only instead of basic or C or something.
Exactly. So that's where it stands. So many people, as you pointed out, the curly brackets and all that, others may not even understand what you're talking about.
Yes, sorry for that.
I assume you already have some background in programming?
Yes, I do have.
Okay, sure.
But for me, Python is new.
Yeah, right. So exactly that's where it stands nowadays. I mean, the people with programming experience are new to Python, and others who know Python, they don't know anything other than Python. So they know only Python. That's how the programmers are divided nowadays.
It's like people don't know how to go to a post office and buy things.
Right.
Sir, in this question, how can we
Yeah.
understand that the statement A is true or false? There is no condition under that.
Yes, we don't have to know that. See what it says, A, B, C are Boolean variables, right? So that means A, B, C, they can be either true or false, right?
Okay.
There is no third possibility, correct?
Yeah.
So what the question is, assume whatever you want, assume whether it's true or false. Irrespective of that, you are supposed to answer the questions.
Okay.
See, irrespective of whether it's true or false, this condition will always remain to be true. You consider whatever combination of values you want for ABC. Maybe true, 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 false, 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 or maybe some different combination of true, false, true. Anything you do, still this will be true, right? So that's the point which I was trying to make earlier. It's the question paper or the questions are checking your logical understanding or logical reasoning of the code. It's not about syntaxes.
Okay.
Okay. So logically you should understand. So it looks a very small code, right? You just scroll through it. You will not find any very big code. All codes are small. I mean, this one is 12 lines, but it's just print statements and just if, else if, right? Just small things, some 3 strings and so on. So almost all code will look will be around 10, 12 lines or maybe even smaller. See all these options, all 4 lines, just 6 lines. So all questions will be very small codes, but you'll have to understand what is happening in those. There might be some lengthy questions as well, some codes which are of maybe 20, 30 lines of code, but over there the lines might be too big, the number of lines might be huge, but what is happening inside, what is happening inside that code will be very straightforward. May not be even as complicated as what is happening in these small codes. It will be very straightforward. So yeah, those kind of questions might be there, but usually almost all questions you will see very small code blocks, 10, 12, 15 lines max. So yeah, prepare accordingly.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else? Any doubts? If not, then we can close. Okay, all right. All the best, everyone, for the 11th December's exam. I hope you all clear the exam, the not just Python part, the entire qualifier. And once you do, we'll meet again for Python.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
Omkar,
the
I have a
best.
question.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, suppose say I do not get 40% in Python, but all the other three papers, is there any way like I'll get a provisional admit or something for
No,
this
no,
course?
it does no, it doesn't work that
Actually,
way.
one of my colleagues told me like since like we are not experienced in programming, like he told like you will be getting a provisional admit and they'll be asking you to complete a Python course later and appear like sit for another exam, something like that.
No, it doesn't work that way. You have to
Okay,
clear all 4.
okay, got it.
See, usually, I mean, you can, there is no problem, but usually this diploma entry is for those who already have some background in the field. Okay. I do understand others also join, but the original idea behind designing this was in that direction. So those people who do not have any background whatsoever, they should start from foundational level from computational thinking. So yeah, I mean, I'm not discouraging you from doing this, but just telling you, right? That was the idea behind this. But yeah, I mean, not just you. There are many people who did this, and they are doing pretty well in the program. There are many people who knew nothing about programming, but still, they tried this diploma qualifier. And then anyway, after doing this, it's mandatory for you to do computational thinking and Python course. So that time they put in those additional efforts, and now they are doing well at diploma level. Okay. So
Okay.
so you,
Yeah,
you can also
actually,
do
I
it, but
have
only thing, as I
prior.
said, you might have to put in extra efforts than others.
Yeah, correct. No, actually, I have prior programming experience in like a C++, but still I'm finding it difficult to understand Python.
Okay. After
But
C++,
yeah,
Python should
the
be
one thing
easier,
is
right?
Python is easier than C++, definitely.
Yeah,
But
that's
like,
what I said. Yeah.
yeah, but like still I'm like not really confident. That's why like I was asking.
Okay. So that's why I said, right? Do not worry about syntax errors. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And on top of that, in Python, usually you get less number of syntax error as compared to C++. Invariably, it doesn't matter who's writing code and what kind of code it is. Invariably, as compared to C++, in Python, you will get less number of syntax errors because Python is very user friendly. You don't have to worry about those small details which you have to in languages like C++. Every time you miss a simple semicolon and your entire code is gone, right? So
Correct.
you don't have
Yes.
to worry about any of those things here. Only thing you have to worry in Python is that indentation. That indentation is the only tricky part with Python. Otherwise, it should be it's much more easier than C++.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Sure. Thanks. All right. Thanks everybody for joining. All the best. I hope we'll meet again. Bye. Bye everyone.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Anup, you're still there?
Yes.
Anup, I've sent an email. Could you please?
I have dropped one. I have sent the, but you can drop me the WhatsApp message. I will share. It is comfortable for me.
Oh, okay.
I have given the number in chat box.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. Could you please type it again? I logged out and logged in.
1 minute.